The Ark of the Covenant, an object shrouded in mystery, power, and reverence. Imagine an artifact capable of parting seas and causing walls to crumble. What do we really know about it? History tells us that it housed the commandments, but what about the secrets it conceals? Have you ever stopped to think about the legends surrounding the Ark? Stories of conquerors who sought it, of civilizations that rose and fell because of it. What might have happened if it had fallen into the wrong hands? And those narratives about its lost location. Is it truly waiting to be found somewhere, or is it merely a fable that intrigues us? The Ark is not just a religious symbol. It is a key that opens doors for us to understand the past and the mysteries of the future. What do the scriptures teach us about its power and significance? How does it connect with the prophecies of the last days? Prepare to dive into a universe where myths and realities intertwine, challenging our beliefs and sharpening our curiosity. Each revelation could change everything you think about the Ark of the Covenant. Let's explore this enigma together. The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most revered artifacts in Jewish tradition, and its importance goes far beyond a mere physical object. For many, it represents the divine presence of God among the people of Israel. The Ark is described in the Bible as a sacred chest that holds the tablets of the law, that is, the 10 Commandments, given to Moses on Mount Sinai. This direct connection with divine precepts makes it an essential symbol in Jewish religiosity. Over the centuries, the Ark has become an icon of Israeli identity and faith, serving as a constant reminder of the covenant between God and his people. Practically speaking, the Ark was not merely an object of worship, but also a central element in the communal life of Israel. During their journeys through the desert, the Ark guided the Israelites and was carried at the forefront of armies in battles, symbolizing divine protection and leadership. Thus, the Ark became a symbol of hope and faith, representing the promise that God would always be with them. In rituals and celebrations, it was treated with reverence, and its handling was surrounded by strict rules, reinforcing its sacred status. In addition to its religious significance, the Ark of the Covenant also carries historical and cultural weight. Over time, the object has become an integral part of the narratives and myths that permeate Jewish culture and, by extension, Western history. Its presence in biblical stories helped shape the understanding of the relationship between the human and the divine, and how this relationship is manifested through symbols and rituals. The Ark, therefore, is a testament to the experiences and convictions of a people throughout their history. The meanings attributed to the Ark of the Covenant have also evolved, especially with the influence of other religious traditions. In Christianity, for example, the Ark is seen as a foreshadowing of the coming of Christ, with many theologians interpreting its functions as a reflection of Jesus' role as a mediator between God and humanity. This demonstrates how the Ark transcends its Jewish roots and fits into a broader context of spirituality and faith. Finally, the Ark of the Covenant continues to be a fascinating topic in theological and academic debates. Its definition and significance are not just matters of history or archaeology, but also questions that touch the essence of the spiritual beliefs of millions of people. What the Ark represents varies depending on the perspective of the one analyzing it, but its relevance is undeniable, both in the past and in the present. The physical description of the Ark of the Covenant, as found in the Bible, is impressive and rich in detail. According to the instructions given to Moses in the book of Exodus, the Ark was to be made of acacia wood, a choice that suggests resilience and durability. This wood was covered with pure gold, both inside and out, giving the object a majestic appearance. The combination of wood and gold not only symbolizes humanity and divinity, but also highlights the importance of the Ark as a symbol of God's presence among the Israelites. In practical terms, the Ark was of a size that made it manageable, yet no less impressive. It measured approximately 1.10 meters in length, 0.66 meters in width, and 0.66 meters in height. These dimensions were carefully specified to ensure the ark was easily transportable, especially during the long journeys through the desert. The idea that such a sacred object could be taken from place to place underscores the mobility of the divine presence, a central concept in Israelite faith. The ark was also accompanied by 2 cherubim made of gold, which stood over the mercy seat, the lid of the ark. The cherubim were representations of angelic beings, and according to tradition, symbolized divine protection. As the cherubim's wings extended upward, they created a sacred space between them, where it was believed that the presence of God manifested. This configuration not only beautified the ark, but also intensified its spiritual significance. Another interesting aspect of the ark is that it had gold rings on its sides, through which poles made of acacia wood covered in gold were passed. These poles allowed the ark to be transported without anyone touching it directly, thus avoiding contact that could be considered profane. This practice demonstrated the respect and reverence that surrounded the object, reinforcing its sacredness. Finally, the physical description of the Ark of the Covenant is not just a narrative of an object, but a testament to the cultural and spiritual richness of the people of Israel. The attention to detail, the chosen materials, and the specific dimensions reveal a profound understanding of what the Ark represented. A tangible link between the divine and the human. A place where the presence of God could be found and worshipped. The Ark of the Covenant served various functions and purposes throughout its history, each imbued with spiritual and social significance. One of the main functions of the Ark was to be the sacred repository of the tablets of the law, which contained the commandments given to Moses. This role made it not only an object of worship, but also a symbol of the covenant between God and the Israelite people. The Ark, therefore, was seen as a constant reminder of the moral and ethical obligations that the Israelites had towards God and each other. Additionally, the Ark was fundamental during worship rituals. It was placed in the Holy of Holies, the most sacred place in the tabernacle, and later in the temple in Jerusalem. Only the high priest was permitted to enter this space, and this occurred once a year, on the Day of Atonement. This exclusivity reinforced the idea that the presence of God was something precious and deserved to be treated with the utmost respect. Thus, the Ark was not merely an object. It was the center of the religious and spiritual life of the people. Another significant purpose of the Ark was its function as a symbol of God's presence during battles and difficulties. In various biblical passages, the Ark was carried at the forefront of the Israelite armies, symbolizing divine protection and leadership. When the Israelites marched with the Ark, they believed they were not only fighting for their lives, but that God was fighting alongside them. This association between the Ark and victory in battles solidified its importance as an amulet of faith and courage. The Ark also served as a point of reference for the unity of the people. During their journey through the desert, the Ark guided the Israelites, and its presence was a sign that God was with them. The Ark became a symbol of hope and a reminder that, even in times of uncertainty, there was a greater force looking after them. This function of leadership and guidance was crucial for the cohesion of the people, who often faced challenges and adversities. Finally, the Ark of the Covenant also represented the idea that the sacred could be accessed by the human. Although surrounded by mysteries and reverence, the Ark provided a means of connection between God and the people. Through it, the Israelites could express their worship, supplications, and repentance. This duality, the Ark as a symbol of sacredness, and at the same time, a means of access to the divine, enriched the understanding of the spirituality of the Israelites, and continues to resonate in religious practices to this day. The biblical history of the Ark of the Covenant begins with the instructions given to Moses in the desert, where God guided him on how to construct it. In the book of Exodus, chapters 25 to 30, we find a detailed description of the materials and dimensions that were to be used. The construction of the Ark was a collective task involving the people of Israel and the skills of the chosen artisans. This collaboration not only resulted in a sacred object, but also strengthened the sense of community and identity among the Israelites. After its construction, the Ark was transported by the Israelites during their journeys in the desert. The biblical account describes how the Ark was placed at the forefront of the people, symbolizing that God was always ahead of them, guiding their actions and decisions. The first great battle in which the Ark was used was against the Amalekites, and its presence was associated with victory. This experience solidified the Ark as a symbol of strength and protection, and its role in military campaigns would become a tradition. The Ark made its triumphant entry into Canaan when the Israelites crossed the Jordan River. The biblical account narrates that as soon as the priests carrying the Ark set foot in the waters of the river, the waters parted, allowing all the people to cross on dry ground. The Ark of the Covenant is not merely an object of worship. It is a fundamental part of Jewish identity. Since ancient times, the Ark has symbolized God's presence among the people of Israel. In synagogues, the Ark is often referenced in prayers and rituals, and its significance transcends the physical, becoming a symbol of hope and faith. During celebrations, the mention of the Ark evokes a deep connection with the history and spirituality of Judaism. In Jewish liturgy, the Ark plays a central role. For example, during festivals, it is common to reference the Ark in blessings and Torah readings. This practice is not just a reminder of the past, but a reaffirmation of the covenant between God and the people. The traditions surrounding the Ark help keep alive the memory of its importance and inspire new generations to connect with this spiritual heritage. In addition to its presence in synagogues, the Ark of the Covenant is also a recurring theme in Jewish festivals and celebrations. During Yom Kippur, for example, the remembrance of the Ark serves as a way to reflect on forgiveness and reconciliation with God. Thus, the Ark becomes a symbol not only of the relationship between the Israelites and God, but also a means of uniting the community around shared beliefs and values. Furthermore, the Ark represents the promise of a better future. Jewish traditions often evoke the Ark as a beacon of hope in times of difficulty. In moments of crisis, the remembrance of the Ark can serve as a powerful reminder that God is always present, guiding and protecting His people. This emotional and spiritual connection is one of the reasons why the Ark remains so significant in Jewish culture. Finally, the Ark of the Covenant also has an educational role. Through the stories and rituals associated with it, new generations learn about the history of their faith and the importance of obedience to God. The lessons that the Ark teaches about commitment, sacrifice, and hope are essential for the development of Jewish identity and continue to impact many lives today. When talking about the Ark of the Covenant, archaeology often comes into play as a fascinating field of study. Many expeditions have been conducted over the years in search of clues that might confirm the existence of the Ark and its history. Although archaeological research has uncovered many important artifacts, the search for the Ark remains an enigma. Archaeologists have attempted to locate the Ark in places like Mount Sinai and Jerusalem, but so far, there have been no conclusive discoveries. One of the most intriguing discoveries related to the Ark is the evidence that the presence of sacred artifacts was common among ancient peoples. This suggests that the Ark was not merely an isolated creation, but part of a larger tradition of sacred objects that represented the connection between the divine and the human. This understanding contextualizes the Ark within the history of religion and reveals how worship practices were developed and shared among different cultures. Moreover, excavations at biblical sites, such as Jericho and the city of David, have revealed information about the life and culture of the Israelites, which can provide indirect insights about the Ark. Although no direct traces of the Ark have been found, analyzing the cultural and religious context of the time helps to better understand its significance and function in Israelite society. On the other hand, archaeology also raises questions about the historicity of the biblical accounts involving the Ark. Scholars attempt to reconcile archaeological discoveries with the narratives of the Bible, which can lead to new interpretations regarding the function and importance of the Ark in the lives of the Israelites. These academic debates are essential for a deeper understanding of the history of the Ark and its religious implications. Thus, the Ark of the Covenant continues to be a topic of intense archaeological interest. Investigations and discoveries associated with it not only fuel curiosity about the past, but also offer new perspectives on contemporary spirituality and culture. The search for the Ark serves as a reminder that the history of religion is as dynamic as the scholars dedicated to exploring it. The Ark of the Covenant is not just a historical relic. It has also been a source of inspiration for artists throughout the centuries. In various cultures, the Ark has been depicted in different styles and media, from paintings and sculptures to films and plays. These artistic representations not only reflect the importance of the Ark in religious tradition, but also how it resonates with universal issues of faith, sacrifice, and hope. A notable example is the representation of the Ark in Renaissance artworks, where artists like Michelangelo and Raphael incorporated elements of the Ark into their compositions. These works often emphasize the splendor and majesty of the Ark, symbolizing the divine presence. Through art, the Ark becomes a means of connecting viewers with the sacredness and spiritual depth of the Jewish tradition. In popular culture, the Ark of the Covenant gained prominence in films, such as Raiders of the Lost Ark, which portrays it as an object of mystical power. This film, although fictional, sparked a renewed interest in the history of the Ark and the legend surrounding it. The way the Ark is represented in cinema often reflects the anxieties and hopes of contemporary society, questioning what it truly means to seek the divine. Furthermore, the Ark has also appeared in literary works, where it is used as a symbol of spiritual quest. Authors from various eras and cultures have utilized the Ark as a metaphor for the journey of faith, exploring themes such as redemption, sacrifice, and the struggle between good and evil. These artistic representations help keep the narrative of the Ark alive and its relevance in different contexts. Therefore, the Ark of the Covenant continues to be a source of artistic inspiration in various forms of cultural expression. The representations of the Ark not only preserve its history, but also invite new interpretations and reflections on the role of faith and spirituality in human life. This ability to resonate over time is a testament to the depth and complexity of the Ark's meaning in the Jewish tradition and beyond. What happened to the Ark of the Covenant after the biblical accounts is one of the most intriguing mysteries in religious history. There are many theories, some more plausible than others, that attempt to explain the fate of the Ark. Some historians believe that the Ark was destroyed during the conquest of Jerusalem by the Babylonians, while others argue that it was hidden in a secret location to protect it from enemies. Another popular theory is that the Ark was taken to Ethiopia. This narrative is supported by some Ethiopian traditions that claim the Ark is housed in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum. If this version is true, it would add a new dimension to the story of the Ark, linking it to a different culture and religious tradition. The possibility that the Ark is preserved elsewhere in the world evokes fascination and curiosity. Additionally, there are also speculations that the Ark was hidden in an underground location in Jerusalem as a way to protect it during periods of invasion and destruction. Some archaeological expeditions have sought clues that might lead to this location, but so far, nothing conclusive has been found. This relentless search for the Ark reflects not only a historical interest, but also a spiritual quest for something that represents the presence of God. The lack of concrete evidence has led many to consider the Ark as more of a symbol than a physical object. For many, the Ark of the Covenant represents the covenant between God and the people of Israel, a connection that transcends time and space. This view suggests that even if the Ark is not physically present, its significance and importance remain alive in the religious tradition. Thus, the mystery surrounding the fate of the Ark of the Covenant endures. The search for answers continues to attract scholars, archaeologists, and curious individuals, all seeking to understand what happened to this powerful symbol of God's presence. Regardless of where it may be, the Ark remains a vital part of the spiritual narrative that shapes the identity of millions around the world. The Ark of the Covenant is significant not only to the Jewish tradition. Its influence extends to other religions such as Christianity and Islam. In Christianity, the Ark is often seen as a precursor to the very presence of God in Jesus Christ. References to the Ark in Christian texts are used to emphasize the idea that God is always present and active in human history. When I think of the Ark of the Covenant, the concept of covenant comes to mind, this deep bond that unites God with the Israelites. It is fascinating how the Ark is not just an object, but a living symbol of this relationship. In the Jewish tradition, the covenant is viewed as a sacred pact, and the Ark, which houses the tablets of the law, represents this commitment. It is as if the Ark serves as a constant reminder of the divine presence among the people, establishing a link that transcends time and space. The Ark thus becomes a meeting point between the human and the divine. The very act of constructing the Ark, as described in the book of Exodus, demonstrates God's intention to relate to the Israelites. He not only gives the laws, but also provides a place where these laws can be kept, a place that is, in a way, a throne among his people. The presence of the Ark in the tabernacle, and later in Solomon's temple, is the affirmation that God desires to dwell among us. Moreover, the Ark of the Covenant is a symbol of hope and faithfulness. In times of crisis, when the faith of the people is tested, the Ark remains a sign that the covenant is still in effect. It carries with it the promise that God never abandons his people, even in the most difficult situations. It is a testament to divine grace, which persists despite human failures. This theology of the covenant also resonates with the concept of responsibility. The Ark is not just a sacred object. It demands that the people live according to the laws it keeps. By interacting with the Ark, the Israelites are reminded of their role in maintaining this relationship. Therefore, the Ark serves not only as a symbol of divine protection, but also as a call to action and obedience. Finally, the Ark of the Covenant invites us to reflect on the nature of covenants in our own lives. Just as the Israelites were called to be a separated and dedicated people, we are invited to cultivate our own covenants, whether in human relationships or in our relationship with the sacred. The Ark is a powerful reminder of the importance of these bonds and the responsibility that comes with them. The Ark of the Covenant has been a source of inspiration for filmmakers and writers over the decades. I remember the first time I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. The way the Ark is portrayed as an object of immense power and also as a symbol of faith is fascinating. The film captures the essence of what the Ark represents, transforming it into an artifact of adventure and mystery. It is interesting to see how a fictional narrative can bring forth the depth of such a spiritual concept. Furthermore, the Ark is often used as a symbol of quest and discovery. In many films and books, it represents not just a goal to be achieved, but also the spiritual journey of the protagonist. This relationship between the ark and personal quest is a powerful way to show how faith can be a motivating force, even in contexts of adventure and action. The ark, therefore, becomes a mirror of human aspirations, reflecting our desire to find meaning and purpose. In other literary works, the ark is used to explore themes of loss and recovery. Writers use the ark as a metaphor for what has been lost and the quest to recover it, whether in a physical or spiritual sense. This dimension is particularly interesting as it resonates with the experience of many people who feel disconnected from their faith or traditions. The ark, in its quest, becomes a symbol of hope and a return to a state of grace. In popular culture, the ark also appears in a variety of forms, from comics to video games. This ubiquity is a testament to its ongoing relevance and the way it touches the collective imagination. It is impressive how, even in modern contexts, the ark still carries with it this historical and spiritual weight, drawing new audiences to its story. Lastly, the use of the ark in contemporary works can lead us to reflect on the way we understand and interpret our own spiritual heritage. The ark, when reimagined in different narratives, invites us to consider how ancient traditions can still inform and enrich our lives today. It is a call to exploration and rediscovery, not only of history, but also of our own beliefs and values. The symbolism of the Ark of the Covenant is vast and multifaceted, and reflecting on this, I realize how it becomes an icon of various spiritual dimensions. First, the Ark symbolizes the presence of God among His people. In many religious traditions, the idea of a God who becomes present is fundamental, and the Ark encapsulates this powerfully. It is a reminder that even in times of uncertainty, God is close, listening, and guiding. Furthermore, the Ark is a symbol of law and morality. The tablets of the law that it holds represent the ethical foundation of Israelite society. This makes me think about the importance of laws and principles in our own lives. Just as the Israelites were guided by these laws, we also need guidelines to help us navigate the complexities of modern life. The Ark, in this aspect, becomes a symbol of the quest for justice and integrity. Another aspect of the Ark's symbolism is its function as an object of unity. It does not belong to a single individual, but to the people of Israel as a whole. This reinforces the idea of community and collectivity, reminding us that we are all interconnected. In a world that often seems divided, the Ark invites us to reflect on the importance of working together for the common good. Furthermore, the Ark can also be seen as a symbol of protection. Throughout biblical history, the Ark is frequently associated with victories in battles and divine protection. This leads me to think about how we all seek some form of protection and security in our lives, whether through faith, community, or our own actions. The Ark thus serves as a reminder that there is a greater force watching over us. Finally, the symbolism of the Ark of the Covenant challenges us to consider what we value in our lives. It invites us to question our own alliances, whether they are spiritual, emotional, or ethical. The Ark is not just a symbol of the past. It is an invitation to reflect on the present and the future, about how we can live in a more authentic manner aligned with our values. When I delve into the historical testimonies and ancient texts that mention the Ark of the Covenant, I realize how history and faith are intricately intertwined. The biblical accounts, such as those found in Exodus and Joshua, provide a rich narrative about the Ark, but there are also references in texts from other cultures. This makes me think about the universality of the Ark's symbolism and how it has resonated in different traditions throughout history. The accounts of the Ark in ancient texts often speak of its importance not only for the Israelites, but also for the peoples around them. The Ark is mentioned in contexts that reflect its impact as a symbol of power and faith, which generates a dialogue between different civilizations. This historical interconnectedness is fascinating and reveals how the Ark transcended its initial role, becoming an icon of resistance and hope. In addition to biblical texts, there are references to the Ark in inscriptions and documents from other peoples that interacted with Israel. These testimonies are valuable as they help to build a more complete picture of the Ark. They show us how the Ark was not just a religious artifact, but also an object of cultural and political interest. This leads me to reflect on how our own cultural artifacts can carry meanings that extend beyond their original functions. Archaeologists have also sought evidence of the Ark in excavations, bringing to light new information that may corroborate or challenge biblical accounts. This quest for the historicity of the Ark is a testament to our human curiosity and the desire to understand the roots of our beliefs. By exploring this evidence, we are led to question what we know about our history and how it connects with our spirituality. Finally, historical testimonies show us that the Ark of the Covenant is not just an object of the past. It continues to influence contemporary spirituality and culture. The references to the Ark in ancient texts and documents invite us to reflect on the continuity of traditions and how the lessons of the past are still relevant today. The Ark, therefore, remains a powerful symbol that connects us to a rich history and a lasting spiritual heritage. So, folks, we have arrived at the crucial point of our journey about the Ark of the Covenant. Have you ever stopped to think about what really happened to it? Does it still exist, hidden away somewhere secret, or is it lost in the mists of time? The stories surrounding this sacred object are fascinating and reveal much about the faith and culture of a people. Just imagine, the Ark, made of wood and covered in gold, was not just an object, but a symbol of divine presence among the Israelites. What mysteries does it hold? What would happen if someone found it today? The implications would be immense, wouldn't you agree? And speaking of mysteries, let's reflect on our current reality. How do the teachings of the Ark still resonate in our lives? What can we learn from its history and the myths surrounding it?